Great. Well, I want to start by welcoming everyone for being here today. My name is Sarah. I'm from Sarah's Accessory Styling. I'm a wardrobe consultant, and I started my business about 4 years ago with the intention of helping my clients to feel confident and stylish in their clothing, and also create a casual wardrobe that they can love and wear every day without breaking the bank. I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here, especially since it's St. Patrick's Day and Saturday on top of that. So thank you for being here. And I'm excited to share with you about how to dress to impress for your college interviews. And I do want to say thank you to Tom as well from Optimum Ed for giving us the opportunity to use his space here. So today we are going to go over first impressions. We're going to go over 6 guidelines for interview dress, which includes what to do and what not to do. We're going to play a game of yes or no, and then there will be some time at the end for any questions that you guys have. Any questions so far? Good to go. Awesome. All right, so first impressions. So how many of you guys are familiar with the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words? Okay, so why is that? Why do we keep coming back to that phrase? We've been hearing it for years, but why do you think it's important?
Because people make snap decisions really quickly.
So people make snaps. So putting your best foot forward then becomes the most important thing. So, and I think that is actually exactly where I wanted to go with that, is that making your first impression, it is a snap decision. And what you wear is the best armor that you can literally put on to help you make the best first impression. It takes 20 new impressions to make up for your first bad impression. So one bad impression, it takes 20 other impressions to change somebody's mind. So it's important to really start with your best foot forward. And with that first impression, you have about 7 seconds to make a good first impression. So like you said, it's a snap judgment. People make up their mind right away. We don't have to like it. It's not something that we want to think about making snap decisions about people before we know them. But we can use this knowledge to our advantage, especially when you're getting ready for your college interview. So I want to quickly break down those first 7 seconds. So 55% of the overall first impression is how you act, how you dress, and how you walk into the room. So those are 2 things that right off the bat we can take care of, is how you dress and how you walk into the room. Those are easy, and we're going to talk about those today. Then another 38% is the quality of your voice, the grammar that you use, and the confidence with which you speak. And the last 7% is the words that come out of your mouth. So even if you have the most thoughtful and insightful things to say, that only makes up for 7% of that first impression. So today we're going to focus on that big 55%, the things that you can do the most about to make a best first impression. So first impressions are important. While a book should not be judged by its cover, many people are unlikely to read it if the cover is not inviting. So you want to make sure that people want to get to know you and learn more about you, and be open to you by the way that you dress and the way that you present yourself in your college interview. We also have to function under the assumption that when you're going to your college interview, you are not the only student that interviewer is seeing that day. They are going to be seeing a lot of other students, a lot of other members that are applying to that chosen college or university. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of applicants all vying for the same position. So you need to find a way to set yourself apart, to make yourself unique and individual. And the best way to do that is by setting a good first impression in your interview with what you wear. Everyone wants to be their book cover and have their book cover be inviting, right? Right. So we are going to go ahead and get started with how to do that. So my first guideline is a pair of slacks. These are an essential part of your wardrobe, and they make a really good staple for your interview wardrobe. And I think it's also important to remember that it's not just for college interviews, but buying a good pair of slacks will serve you well throughout your life. You want to make sure that your slacks are well fitted and hemmed to the appropriate length, aka not dragging on the floor. And you can see, especially for the ladies and the men, when they're wearing different size heels, you can see the difference in the length of the slack. or the length of the pants. And you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that when you're purchasing pants. For color, neutral tones are always best, like black, blue, or khaki. We've got some up there in a dark gray as well, and that's also a really good choice. For ladies, a black or navy A-line skirt is also a really good answer. That can be substituted for slacks if you want to wear a skirt instead. And like I said, this is an item that you'll be using at many different points or occasions in your life, so this is not a place to skim. Don't grab the first thing you find off the rack and call it a day. Make sure that you find something that fits well and that is flattering, because you're going to be using it over and over and over again. And cost per wear, you know, if you buy a $10 pair of slacks, you only wear them once, that pair of slacks is $10. But if you buy a $60 pair of slacks and you wear them 12 times, that's $3 per wear. So you're getting a whole lot more out of it. Or I'm sorry, $6 for it. So you're getting a whole lot more out of it than you would if you just bought the single pair of $10 slacks. All right, so sensible footwear. For an interview, a simple black or even a colored shoe is fine, especially for those who want to have a little bit of flair in their footwear. For ladies, I recommend a shorter heel, not higher than 2 inches. And like I said, if you do choose to wear flats, be mindful of the size for the length of your slacks or your skirt to make sure it's not dragging on the floor. And this also goes back to a comfort issue. If you're not comfortable wearing heels, don't wear heels. If you're not comfortable wearing flats, don't wear flats. If you're more comfortable in slip-on shoes for men, then wear the slip-on shoes. Don't wear tie shoes. You want to feel comfortable in what you're wearing, and you want it to represent who you are. So that means making adjustments. These are, like I said, are guidelines, but take these and make them your own and make it personal to you when you're getting ready for that interview. For men, also, traditional loafers or a tie shoe is recommended. So I have 2 examples there. For women, also the flats or a small heel. You can see I'm in a little small heel today, and I think this is probably about 2 to 3 inches, and this might even be a little tall for some people. So you, again, focus on what's comfortable for you. All right, so a practical top or blouse. Picking out the right top is important. If you're unsure about what the dress code is, especially if you're getting ready for an interview, my suggestion is that you always lean toward the slightly more formal or conservative side. So for women, that means a blouse that's fitted but isn't too tight. Collars are sometimes better. If you're planning to wear a jacket, be mindful of what you're putting underneath it. So, or if you know you're going to be wearing a jacket over it, like these sleeves are great. They're not going to look so great under a jacket. So if you know that that's something you're going to do, pay attention to that when you're picking out your blouse. For men, I suggest avoiding loud prints, something really big or bold. It is a great way to make a statement, but are you making the right statement? Understanding how clothes also fit your body is really important. It may be expensive to purchase a well-fitting top, but in the long run, these are articles of clothing that are gonna go a long way for you. You're gonna be wearing them over and over and over. Also, your choice of top is seasonally dependent. So, like in this example, we have 2 ladies in sleeveless blouses. If you're going for your college interview in the middle of December in Michigan, I would not recommend wearing a sleeveless top. I would recommend wearing a nice sweater. That is something that is going to get you what is not only form, what's appropriate to wear, but also function. I personally don't believe in sacrificing function for form. If I know it's going to be cold, I'm going to wear a dressy sweater instead of a blouse with a short sleeve jacket, because I know I want to be warm and I don't want to be cold. So take those things into consideration, the time of year, where you're going to be when you're selecting your top. All right, guideline number 4 is your blazer. So a jacket or blazer is an excellent way to help polish off your look. However, it's not necessarily required for your interview. In my estimation, it's better to have one and leave it in the car than find you need one and not have it at all. For ladies, having a staple black blazer like your black slacks will be a versatile piece in your wardrobe. And for men, I recommend a blazer that's blue as opposed to black, mostly because black is associated with black tie, which is a tuxedo. And you're not going to find many college interviews where you need to be wearing a tuxedo, I don't think. So my color suggestion for men would then be blue or even a gray, and for women black or navy or even white, again depending on the season. It's the middle of winter, white blazer might not be your best answer. For everyone, again, fit is so important. You need to make sure that your jacket fits well. You don't want to have much pulling across the front when you're buttoning your jacket. You want it to button, as I button my own. You want it to button comfortably without pulling across the chest, and that goes for men and women. This is also a really great time to find a tailor. So if you find a blazer that fits, but not quite, having a tailor take it in, lengthen the sleeves, shorten the sleeves will go a long way. Especially if you're shopping on a budget, if you find a blazer you really like at Goodwill, but it needs a little bit of adjustment, spending the extra $10 or $15 getting it fixed by a tailor is going to go a long way and will save you the cost of spending $200, $300 on having a custom piece done or buying a more expensive jacket and having it altered. And also in the winter months, a sweater is also, especially for men, a sweater or a sweater vest is also a great way to layer if that is to your style. Any questions so far? Good? Okay. Accessories. So the accessories are how you finish off your look, and accessories are also a very important part of your wardrobe. For women, your jewelry adds to your look, but in an interview situation, my recommendation is that simple is best. You can use these pieces to show your style, spirit for your school, or the school that you're interviewing at, or stay with sentimental pieces that provide encouragement. For men, a tie is a great way to show your sense of style and personality. But again, I would recommend avoiding super bold prints. I know I found this tie, and it's foosball. So again, if there's something that you're passionate about that you love, finding a tie to incorporate that is a really great way to do that, but remember not to go entirely overboard. For men, also remember to wear a belt. Belts are super important, and men's pants are designed to be worn with a belt, so to keep that in mind. For women, belts are also important, but sometimes our dress slacks are not designed to be worn with a belt, so also take that into consideration. If you know that you prefer to wear a belt, look for slacks that have belt loops so you're not cinching down your belt over something that doesn't have belt loops. Any questions about accessories? Good? Okay. Okay, so germs are not for sharing. This is a book I read to my kids, and I think that this feeds into also, it should kind of go without saying, but it's important to be well-groomed before you go to your interview. Don't undo all the work you've done putting your outfit together by ignoring personal hygiene. So, pro tip from me, keep a pack of breath mints in your car just in case you need them, so you can use one right before you go into your interview. I choose breath mints over gum because you don't want to be chewing gum as you walk into your interview, and a breath mint will dissolve on its own and disappear, and it's like it was never there. Another pro tip, if you're traveling, read into that more than an hour in the car. For your interview, pack your interview clothes in a hanging bag and change into them when you get to the college. So when I was interviewing at a couple of colleges, I was living a 5-hour plane ride from where I was interviewing. So I packed my interview, took a quick shower, freshened up, changed my clothes, and then went to the interview, and we budgeted that time. So it allowed me to look like I hadn't just rolled off a red eye, and instead was fresh and ready for my college interview. Okay, so now guideline number 6 is what not to wear. So this list shouldn't come as a surprise, but we're gonna go over it anyway. So you want to avoid items with holes, so holey jeans are out. You want to avoid overly rumpled clothing. If you don't know how to use an iron, make friends with an iron or somebody who knows how. Avoid anything with spots or stains. Now I know we're not toddlers, but accidents happen, so try to make sure that you're paying attention to that as you're getting dressed. Avoid anything with missing buttons or missing accessories. If there's something that's supposed to be there and it fell off, don't wear it. Visible underwear is never a good idea. No yoga pants or gym clothes. I know you see a lot of people, especially on college campuses, wearing their yoga pants, wearing their gym clothes, wearing their sweatpants out. That's fine once you're in school, if that's what you choose to wear, but for your interview, that is discouraged. Avoiding sports uniforms or jerseys. That's fine if you're going to try out for the athletic team later, or you're there for an interview for an athletic scholarship and you want to show your support. That's all well and good when you're meeting with the athletic director one-on-one. But when you're interviewing for acceptance to the school, dressing professionally is the best way to go. Avoiding suggestively short or low-cut clothing for men and women is always a good idea. Men, keep those shirt collars buttoned. They don't need to see your chest hair. And ladies, same thing. Don't wear those low V-neck tops. They don't want to see that. T-shirts, especially with phrases or cartoons, I discourage against because you, again, want to set a very professional tone. And then sneakers or flip-flops are just a no-go. You want to wear professional footwear, so head to toe. So make sure to pay attention to that. You only get one shot at making a first impression. Don't waste this opportunity to put your best foot forward. That's all, folks. I want to thank Tom again for hosting. And I also want you guys to remember this is your chance to set yourself apart from the rest of the thousands of the students that are applying to your chosen college or university. You belong there. You've chosen this university for a reason. Be sure to show it right from the moment you walk on campus and you walk into that interview that you belong there. Thank you, guys.